Ribbit? Who gets hotter than hot and hot?
Yeah, don't adjust your eyes, fellas. Pharaohs. It's Hugin Cough. Yes, I'm in a frog suit. No, you cannot pull this off. Let's get
Okay, let's go.
To the park, green fleece on my back, Velcro under the chin. Yeah, I'm carrying the track. Right, please slow. Tail wagging to the snare. All the alphas looking mad, but I really do not care. See a Doberman flexing, trying to guard his little click. I just hop over a puddle, leave him looking mighty sick. You a basic brown mutt. I'm a neon amphibian, stepping in the dog club, changing the meridian. Your bark is kind of loud, but your bite is just a joke. I don't even got a growl, I just hit him with the croak.
That's my voice of life.
Hop up, make way for who get green suit on you. I'm taking your bitches, it's honestly classic. Yeah, I said it, the fattest got to hear me, God. Leave your boys to the least, got them living large. Yeah, walk past the water bowl, give a little wink. Got a poodle and a bug, both offering a drink. Your boyfriends are sniffing each other's jump out of tree trunk. These bitches want a prince, well I'm the green prince of funk. Got a Frenchie on my left, got a husky on my right. I'm looking so fly, I'm looking out of sight. I'm a cold-blooded killer in a warm-blooded body, rolling through the dog park, turning it into a party. Y'all are it's like a reservation for two, fit for a frog king. Pop, make way for who get green suit on. Yeah, I'm wildin', I'm grooving. Your boys looking tragic, my swagger is magic. I'm taking your bitches, it's honestly classic. Yeah, sudden, the fattest that's an y'all. Leave the horns on the leash, got it from me, Lord. I wanna mention Marcus, cause he's on this track. I'm flying, I'm floating like Shaq. I know for a fact I'm not on Epstein's list. I got my own feel with the bitches I kiss. I ain't got ticks, my DJ's beat matching. I ain't got fleas, that's my DJ that's scratching. I got mojo, I got swagger, I strut right past you, dog. You just a silly mutt. Bitches be thirsty, I'm they man's nightmare. The Dow is at 50, so I don't care.
I don't remember signing on to this. I was once inside Hugin until Dad gave him his hard-earned medicine.
Make way for Hugin, green suit on, yeah, I'm wildin', I'm groovin'. Your boys looking tragic, my swagger is magic. I'm taking your bitches, it's honestly classic. Yeah, sudden, the fight us to the limit line. Me the point, you're the least, let him live in line. Yeah, shout out to Dad in the Pharaoh chat. Ernie, Birdie, Mitty, Claudia, Tip, Darlene. Wish I could fit everyone into this song. Yeah, Amra, Tish, Toms, Steven, Satan, damn it, Kevin, you wrong. Ladies, you don't gotta get all bent. Huggin's more fresh than 50 Cent. You might not think he's cool, you might not think he's nifty, but Hugin don't count. Cause Down Jones at 50, we out.
He said it, we out. Hey, can you guys hear me? No, we're not going to watch the cat torture video. I know it's supposed to be cleaning a cat, but it very much feels... I feel about this cat video the way Laura feels about a specific video we have. In fact, I feel like if we play it, it might actually call her. Let's see if it works.
It's time to remove my chihuahua's demon. This time is going to work.
A la víbora de la mar, por aquí pueden pasar. Los de adelante corren mucho, los de atrás se quedarán.
Hoy, mi amor,
Rub
el
that
perro
egg.
no te quiere.
Get that dog with that egg.
Ahora sí.
Rub that egg on that dog.
¡Újule! Listo.
Ahorita va a volar.
You better bless that Hugin right there. Yep, get him.
Para que vean.
Get him.
Ya está, mija, el hechizo hecho para todos los que no me quieren.
Where did my Hugin go? I need to find my Hugin. I need to find my Hugin so I can bless him. Yeah, I haven't either. Tiki, 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 too. How are you guys all doing? Hello, everybody. Hello. I see Tish is here. Tish, how are you feeling? Ernie Birdie, just a crazy fucking Jen is here. Hello, everybody. Did I see a turd there? I saw Equitiscotus, Esquitiscotits. Yes, you can pet the dog. I see, yes, Melissa the assassin is here. Everybody's here. Excellent. This is good. And some of you kids, some of my Colorado kids are in here. Good, because we're going to talk about a Colorado case today. And I'm going to try not to cry on this one. This one pisses me off. I'm going to be honest with you. I debated, like, should we even show any goofy news or crazy videos before? This one's just so tragic and sad. And I think what pisses me off the most about it is that this girl could very well still be out there. And very much more than likely, in my opinion, is than isn't, based on a lot of the intelligence that has come out. And I mean, actual like federal FBI investigations. And the sightings are insane. It's just, and I barely heard about this on the news. Like recently it slipped into my algorithm. And I'm like, this is an older case. And then I went back and looked at it and I was like, oh, I thought they found this girl. I thought they caught the people. No. And then it occurred to me, oh my God, it reminds me so much of a couple of other cases we've talked about. The girl up in Washington who ended up in Michigan because she snuck out at night and it was a predator picking her up. Or Amani Hughes in Houston. It reminds me so much of those cases. But the one it most reminds me of is Asha Desiree. Do you guys remember that? It looks like it's spelled degree, but it's Desiree, I believe. It's so much like her case. It's insane. So we're just going to kind of dry open tonight, talking about it, not really doing a ton of sillies. I do have one silly news story to show you. You don't remember this? This is going to piss you off, Melissa. And I'm very curious, you and Ernie, anybody in here from Colorado, like I'm very curious if you've heard about this. Hello, Equal Parts. Especially because like Gannon Stouch, when that happened, that was all over. Like everybody knows about that. Everybody knows Jean-Benet Ramsey. Like there's a couple of Colorado cases that are very, very well known. This one, it's like how you're from Aurora. Yeah. So you might recognize some of the places we're going to look at here too. And what's remarkable about, a lot of shit goes down in Colorado. The new Detroit, the mean streets of Denver are real, apparently. So this case, it goes back pretty far. It goes back, 10 years now. To 2016, and it happened in the summer. And what's weird about it, well, I guess not weird. So it also reminds me of Kristen Galvan, unfortunately, but there's a couple of things. Almost every case can remind you of other cases. Sure. It's going to have elements of it. Doesn't mean that it's all the same shit, or the circumstance, I should say, not shit. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary beyond curse words in case you can't tell, trying to be a little more profesh. But in all seriousness, there's a lot of cases that sound very similar, but there's little elements that are different, right? A lot of people like to say Katie Janess from Atlanta. They go, oh, it must be Brian Koberger because it was a knife and it was at night. But when you actually look at it, it's nothing like the Idaho. It's one girl walking in a park with her dog, and both her and the dog were attacked, which is horrible. Whereas the dog in the Idaho case was spared completely. And in that case, it's rapid. There's a lot of strikes, a lot of blows. And in Katie's case, there's carving of words into her, in public at night outside. It's just very different. But then you look at the case we're going to look at, which is a girl named Lashaya Stine. And let me just start out by telling you some of the similarities with this other case, Asha Desiree. If you don't remember Asha, she's from the Northeast and she's a little girl. She had a basketball game. It didn't go too well, but she, it wasn't like she was totally depressed over it. She's had like a game that she didn't win. She goes home, her brothers, and her parents and everybody, they're about to like go to sleep. They were going to watch a movie, but they're going to go to sleep after it. But then there was a rainstorm and the power went out. So they're like, we'll just go to bed early. And she had stuff to do in the morning. She had school. And so her and her brothers and them, she says good night to everyone. She goes to sleep. The family wakes up in the morning and she's gone. It seemed that she had left the house and was sighted walking down the street late at night, like past 1 a.m. And people drove by and saw her. And she had like her backpack and stuff. And then she just disappeared. And somebody saw her stop and talk to a car. And it was that older green car that ended up, they believe, belonged to a neighbor down the road with the daughters. And remember, they subpoenaed the text. It was a whole thing. And they still don't seem to have a conclusion with it. And the person had like, it was like an elderly home. Yeah, I did see there was some stuff that happened. It had to do with, didn't have to do with the sisters, one of the sisters in like a subpoena. I need to double check on that. If you can fill me in, Nikki's biz, I would love to know. I did get a Google alert on it, but it seemed to be a lot and it had to do with some technical court stuff. And I was like, we'll go look at it later. But people were complaining that it didn't really do anything. So I was like, I need to go check it. I honestly thought it was going to be some more regurgitated shit from, people who are like, I know this family and they would never, which was a big thing on Reddit. Oh my God. And then people gossiping about the family that was a lot. But the thing about Asha is Asha was like a good kid, and hers was in the early 2000s before like a lot of people were meeting people off the internet. She was a really sweet kid. And by a good kid, I'm not saying other kids who go missing are bad kids. I'm just saying like she wasn't what they say is partaking in risk seeking behavior. You know what I mean? She wasn't like smoking dope. She wasn't going out with a bunch of boys. She was a kid. She was trying to play basketball. She was trying to shoot hoops and have fun. She loved her dad. She loved her mom. She loved her brothers. And this girl that we're going to talk about, Lashaya Stine, she wanted to be a nurse. She was going to go to nursing school. And she was about to get, or she had just gotten this like medical school internship thing. And she was super excited. She was only 16 years old. And she was super smart. And she was like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a nurse. She was super stoked about her future. And she was going to apply for a job the next day. She had an interview, or she had applied and had an interview at a restaurant. And so she was getting ready for the interview this night, right? And on this night, her and her brothers and her mother and her dad, they're all like, it's time for bed. And she was even complaining, like, could you guys keep it down? I'm trying to go to sleep. I got a big interview in the morning. Like, she was excited about it. And then nobody heard it. But at 2:30 in the morning, just like Amani Hughes, like middle of the night, just like Asha, just like that girl out of Washington that ended up in Michigan, and just like countless other kids, she somehow snuck out. But here's the thing, just like all these other kids, that had never happened before. Kind of crazy, right? And she was super, super excited about this interview. And she left everything behind except her cell phone. She left her cell phone charger, her purse, all of her stuff. It was just her jacket, the clothes on her back, and her cell phone. And she leaves at 2:30 in the morning. I don't know if it seems like she may have snuck out a window. I'm not entirely sure on that. But it's kind of crazy. Because this girl just disappears into the night. And the parents wake up and the brother wakes up and they're like, we didn't hear anything. What the hell? And she doesn't come back. And she was walking down the street, Montview in North Peoria. And it's really close to this strip called Colfax. And if you keep going down Colfax Street, that's where it turns into the Blade. That's where there's a lot of street walking and a lot of, people on the corner selling themselves like Bissonnette. And there's a lot of really seedy hotels that a lot of sex trafficking goes down into. And the thing is, the police didn't take it seriously. They said, oh, she's just a runaway. She'll be back. She'll be back. And her family's like, what the fuck? No, this is not like that. She didn't show up to her interview. And this was in Aurora, Colorado. Hello, C. Smith. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Crazy Jen. I'm sorry. I'm going off on a tangent about this case. But when I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. Hello, kittens in crime. I'm also going off the top of my head right now. And I'm kind of glancing at some very poorly written notes because my writing is shit. But there's some interesting things that I wanted to note to tell you guys about. First of all, the police thought, oh, she's a runaway, she'll be back. And the family's like, dude, no, she's not like that. You need to help us now. And her family immediately starts looking and they're like, and this was 2016. So they're checking her phone, checking passwords, checking everything. Well, not her phone, but like trying to call it. They tried to call it 3 times and it rang. And then on the 3rd time, it goes straight to voicemail. They turned it off, whoever had it. So they're freaking out because she's 16. She didn't show up to this interview that she really needed because she wanted to make money so that she could go do this nursing stuff. She had this internship stuff coming up. She's like a very bright kid, She wasn't hanging out with like gang members. She wasn't hanging out with people involved in sex trafficking. She was a kid who may have met someone on the internet, according to friends, family, and police. Possible. Especially because a lot of her digital trail, gone. Like, once she stopped answering the phone, her social media started disappearing. Now, is that because the FBI eventually got involved and took it all down? Well, it seems that they have not confirmed that. Instead, they've said quite the opposite, that her digital trace has gone away, and that's concerning. In fact, they didn't get concerned about until about a week after the case. Why? Because the police chief was on vacation. And when he got back, he saw it and he's like, why are we not stepping this up as a priority? What the fuck? And he was pretty pissed, apparently. He's like, this is concerning. And the reason it was concerning is because of all the elements to it. He'd seen this happen before, and it was happening with a lot of teens. And they were ending up in a sex trafficking ring. And this is in 2016 when the FBI is currently doing their largest sex trafficking sting to try to pick up a shitload of kids. I think it was over 180 or 190 that they rescued that year. And I believe that was from Colorado specifically. And that's because Colorado is like the center, the meeting point. They traffic you typically in a route. And so when the police chief finally showed up, he's like, yo, this is fucked up. You guys should have been on this while I was on vacation. Why did you put this off? No. Let's get on this. He even showed up at the fucking family's house personally. And he was like, we need to get through all this. And just like every other family, they got to go through the family and make sure nothing happened there. But then the chief is like, we're going to get all this footage from the area. And he finds this footage of her walking at 2:30 a.m. And she's walking down that street, Peoria and Montview. And you see her looking at her phone and kind of looking around for someone. And then you see her walk towards where these headlights are. And it's really crazy because it's pretty obvious she got picked up by someone, which is the exact same thing that happened with Imani, with the girl in Washington. And it seems with Asha, maybe, based on, witness testimony with that one, not CCTV, which is what they had for Asha. And here, for Lashaya, and here's the most concerning thing about Lashaya, I would think, is that she had a very specific, like, moon, almost circular scar on her chest. Hello, Laura. Nice to see you. She has a circular scar on her chest. It was very unique. And they started getting tips in from people who recognized her, who were spotting her all over the country. But the places they were spotting her were these hotels in really, really bad parts of town. And she was specifically seen at a hotel on Colfax, which, yes, Melissa. Yeah, no, she wasn't within walking distance, but she was like, when I was looking at the map, it was a couple of blocks down. And then you turn on Colfax, there's the shitty part. This is based on Google Maps. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And then you basically, well, she would be good part. Then you walk down and there's a shitty part, right? Like it connects. I think it's Peoria. So there's a hotel there, and we're going to look at it in a minute, that at the time was the sex trafficking hotel. And she was spotted there. And the police show up, and 5 minutes before they show up, all the witnesses who saw her said she was gone. They took her. The traffickers came and they took her and they moved her. In every single place that there would be sightings that were considered credible, the FBI took them very seriously. It's because people described specific things about her that other people didn't know at the time, including the scar on her chest, and stating the same thing, that she was drugged, she was kept drugged, and that they were constantly moving her. And so when they're getting these tips of these sightings, they're in places like Kansas City, Missouri, of course, obviously Colorado. I believe another one might have been like Arizona or New Mexico, but all the specific places, specifically the hotels in the areas, were sex trafficking hubs. And at the time, the FBI is closing in on these exact hubs, that this girl is kind of lost in the system. And yes, Ernie, I do. Let me actually show you. I'm going to not only show you some pictures, but I'm also going to show you some of the stuff that was out there about her at the time. And well, not the cat video that was out there at the time about her in the local online forums. Like, do you remember topics and stuff like that? Sorry, it played my theme song really loud and I did not need that in my ear. Well, there was Web Sleuths, there was topics, there was the unresolved mysteries, there's Reddit, there's all these different forums, right? So I was going through them and looking at everything that was reported versus rumor from locals. Were there any tips, any sightings? There were a lot of people who were keeping up with this case who were very, very local to the neighborhood. And it's very interesting. Some of the stuff they said, it lined up with stuff that would eventually be reported on the news. So we're going to look at some of that right now. In fact, I went ahead and opened Web Sleuths, and I did put a post about this, and I think I cross-posted it too, from Unresolved Mysteries. Shout outs to Only Historian. Give me one sec. Let me open this for you. I'm going to just show you first. Let's look at this Reddit post about it. And it is terrifying, C. Smith. It's so fucking sad, too. This poor family. And so the cruelty the families of the missing people face is the title of this. And what's interesting about that, I think, is that I've talked about this to you guys, about how people will try to extort these families of missing people, saying, like, I have your kid, they do a Nancy Guthrie, give me X amount of money and I'll tell you where they are. Now, in this case, a lot of people focused in on just shitting on the family, saying horrible things to them, like, I know where she is and she's this, that, and the other. This is what's happening to her, just like torturing the family with the horrible things that were being done to her as if they knew, which is really scary. She was targeted, the whole family, the mother, Sabrina, they were targeted by like online trolls that were just fucking with them, and people who would lie to them and say that they knew where she was or had a tip and then try to extort them. The same thing happened in Natalie Holloway's parents. The same thing happened to Roxanne Paltoff's family. This shit happens a lot, and it's very disturbing. And the worst thing, let me pop back up here. The worst thing about this one, not just that she's missing, but about the aftermath and what the family went through. There was one specific woman who claimed to know where she was, had some information that they deemed could be credible, honed in on the family, and tried to extort them for a lot of money, and tried to do like a Rex Heuermann, like the way he talked to the sister. Like, she's gonna be tortured. If you don't pay, horrible things are gonna happen to her. And imagine being the mother and you don't want horrible things to happen to your kid, and they're like, don't call the police. Like, that type of shit that happened to this family, and it was pure agony. Luckily, that woman, I believe, got caught, and I think she may have even been charged. I actually focused more on Lashaya's case than that specific element to it, but I will look that up and find out more information for you. But I do believe that woman did, because I think she did get charged. Because let's just read this together. You'll see there's a lot of information on here. Kind of, it's not really too detailed, but it gives you a general overview. And again, shout out to Only Historian. And I'll try to make this a little bit bigger for you. And then we will see some new stuff on it. I want you to see kind of everything that was reported in order, because they're still reporting on the case. As of this year, they're still putting the feelers out saying, does anyone know where she is? Have you seen her? Do you remember her? Did you live in the area? Do you anything at all? They put out age progressed photos. They do believe that she could possibly still be in trafficking. And the problem with trafficking, obviously, aside from it being trafficking, is when they drug you and they psychologically fuck with you, it creates, a lot of people will say Stockholm, but it's beyond that. It's terror. It's like the girl in the box, or, JC Dugard, how they were mentally, conditioned. That happens to a lot of these victims, not just because the drugs are put on, but the fear element, what they're going to do to your family if they catch you. We can always catch you, beating the shit out of them, stuff like that. Like, that can really keep someone from wanting to go, not wanting, but actually acting upon going back home, even though they desperately might want to. And it could even cause people to actually forget things like that. Like, JC and other kidnap victims would write their names down over and over so they didn't forget them. That's how deep it got. And yes, Laura, isolation madness, like, it can really cause, like, some people are like, oh, well, this girl was allowed to go out to a job. Why didn't she run away? It's like, you don't understand. Like, this girl who was sent out to do a job had probably been beaten repeatedly trying to escape little tests of jobs, like fake jobs that were set up to test her. Like, that's the type of shit these people do. These abusers are really sick. Oop, hold on. He's home. Give me 1 second. I'll be right.
Hello, folks. Nuck here. A lot of you have been asking me about my morning routine, so here it is. It's my new teeth. Snort-worthy smile, if you ask me. So I like to start my morning by waking up at 2 in the afternoon, get a quick lift, lick, and lurk in before I go off and spend the next several hours in the woods. And this time is mainly for my freeform lurks. I just lurk like no one's watching. Then I head into town to do some casual creeping. I mean, I'm freaking everyone out because I'm getting in my squirms. But you gotta squirm to stay firm. I forget what I'm doing for the next 3 days and get an office job that I absolutely hate. Spend most of my time hiding in the storage closet, but all my coworkers know I'm in there. The next 26 hours I'm purposefully unconscious. Come to so I can try on some tuxes because I'm getting married. Love to Ragnora. I'll practice my funeral for 30 minutes, at which point I gotta pretend to listen to someone tell me about a dream they have, but I'm really just thinking about what I'm gonna say. Then, and this is important, I'll just wait, eerily, for hours. What am I waiting for? A big heap of nothing. I wait to wait. I'll spend 2 minutes trying to create fire with my mind, giving me just enough time for a last lurk before the day begins. That's the Bobo way.
It's been a while since you guys have seen the Bobo way, so I was just waiting to pop that one out. Anyway, his boyfriend's home. So I had to let him in. He was locked out. That was my bad. Okay. So where were we? So I saw what you said, Kittens in Crime. That is very interesting. Apparently the victims whose case where Stockholm Syndrome was coined says that it's not a thing and has been advocating for decades to try to discredit Stockholm Syndrome. Interesting. I mean, maybe Stockholm Syndrome itself isn't a thing, but conditioning elements, fear tactics definitely are. I mean, maybe they shouldn't have named it that for sure. Yeah, grooming, stuff like that, big time. And then the whole forcing a girl to choose up, which we talked about before, threatening their families. It's the same thing that like kidnapping victims go through with the cartel and stuff. It's very scary, but also look at, again, Nancy Guthrie's case, how people are trying to extort the family for Bitcoin and they can't really tell who's actually serious and who's not. And when you have everything available online to learn about someone, sometimes it's harder to see, like, is this person someone who genuinely knows the victim or could they have found this online somewhere? So I do think that law enforcement has a hard time with that. Yeah, brainwashing, conditioning, what else do they call it? Grooming, all that stuff. But yeah, Stockholm Syndrome victim advocating to discredit it is fascinating. I do want to read about that. That's very interesting because I did not know that. And holy shit, yeah, it is a survival strategy. And also, like, I think that the common theme with a lot of trafficking victims that we see in a lot of these cases are that they tend to say, like, kind of the same thing. They were kept drugged, they were kept isolated, and then threats were made upon their loved ones. And that's a lot to work against, especially when you're alone in the middle of nowhere. You have nothing. And oftentimes they'll be kept, sometimes naked or sometimes with like very little clothes. And they will be made to look a certain way so that they are not someone that is approachable or that people would happily open their arms to and say, let me help you. Especially when they're drugged. It's a tough one to get out of. It's like cyclical, just like any other type of abuse. And it's really sad. Kristen Enmark is her name. I'm going to star that. I will look that up. Thank you for that. Interesting. Okay. So Lashaya Stine was 16 years old when she went missing. She's an honor student from Aurora, Colorado, who dreamt of becoming a nurse. She disappeared. Check this. This is the summer. Okay. The summer of 2016. So it's hot outside. Now, I don't know about Aurora specifically, if it was super hot. She did have a coat, it looked like, or a jacket. She snuck out of her house with without extra clothes, money, or a phone charger. So she did intend on coming back because she didn't have her charger, right? She didn't take her purse. She didn't take money. It looks like maybe she might have been going out to just meet someone at a car. Who knows? Maybe drive around. That's another thing they'll say. They'll say, let's just drive around the block and get to know each other, especially like if it was someone pretending to be a teen boy. We don't know yet. Security cameras captured the last known sighting of her at 2:23 a.m. on the 1600 block of Peoria Street. It's believed that she was planning to meet someone. As time went on, the family got a tip that Lashaya was being held at a Colfax motel, forced into prostitution. By the time this lead was investigated, Lashaya was gone. In November 2020, police searched a house in relation to Lashaya's case, but nothing was found. There's been no public development in 2 years, and this was posted 4 years ago. Now, we are going to look at that house. And I'm going to show you something interesting I saw on maps and what the police said about the investigation, because the police had like hacksaws, shovels. They were going through the yard. They were searching inside the house. It's very, very wild. Yes. And that's why we're going to look at Google Maps, though, because I want to show you some stuff. And it does look so different. In fact, I mean, we'll see it ourselves on the map, but damn, it really, they've changed it completely. So seems like trafficking was the first theory people go to when young women went missing. But in Lashaya's case, its main explanation, even according to law enforcement, Lashaya was possibly sighted in Kansas City, Missouri area, in Kansas, New Mexico, and Arizona. Because of this, she could still be alive, living in any area of the U.S. The most recent article, again, this is from 6 years ago, 2022, showcases the cruelty from the general public that the families left behind can face. At first, Lashaya's mom, Sabrina, received Facebook messages from people who found Lashaya's story funny. I cannot imagine having to read such words and again, extorting her in exchange for made up information. She was contacted by 3 different scammers. I mean, this is horrible. Yes, we're going to look at her and we're going to look at a article about her. I mean, some news stories about her. When she went missing, she's a girl with her whole life ahead. No one had the right to take her from us. And then it goes on and on. Okay. So let me show you that. And I'm going to show you the last known. Hold on one second. Let's share this tab instead because I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures of her so you can see. So we'll share this tab instead. Okay. So this is Lashaya. She was 16. And there she is with, see the big silver hoop earrings? That's one of the things she was wearing. She's also known to have like the kind of, notice how her hair goes to the side and the back, even when it's part up, part hanging down in the ponytail. Her hair is naturally very curly. But they do believe that she was made to wear like a straight black wig when she was seen. She was last seen in Aurora, Colorado in the early morning hours of July 15, 2016. She left home to meet an unspecified individual. So it was one person and never came back. The last sighting of her was on surveillance camera. The family believes she was abducted by traffickers. There have been sightings of her reported on Colfax Avenue in Aurora. Witnesses stated the girl resembling Lashaya was being drugged and forced into prostitution. And if you know anything about her, just in case, the number is 303-627-3100. So let's take a look at her again. And I'm going to show you some more pictures of her as well. There is an age progression that Nick Mick made. So let me, oh, I wish it wasn't so blurry. Hold on one second. All of these are very, very blurry. Why? Hate that for us. Let me just go to the page. Let's stop sharing that. Give me 1 second. Okay. Well, great. Great. Let's see what pops up. Okay, this is the Nick Mix status. Hold on 1 second. I'm pulling this up for you. And I'm going to show you guys some videos. Here we go. So it's been since 2016 since she was last seen or heard from. And I don't know why it's blurry over the face of her actual photo from 2016. And then the age progression is not. But this is what they believe she could look like today. I think she would probably look pretty much the same, you know. Especially because, you know, you're 16, maybe just a little bit older in the face. Maybe the hair gets a little white. But other than that, she's pretty much going to look the same. The big silver hoops are what she was known to wear. She also had a silver wristwatch that she wore. And again, Montview in North Peoria was the area that she went missing. And she did take her cell. But then, again, people turned it off. Someone turned it off after 3 calls. And the chief comes back from vacation. He's like, what the fuck? Why have you guys not been looking? You know, let me go talk to this family. This is fucked. And then he does. So she is in the NCMEC system. They do believe a lot of the tips have been credible that they've received. And I'm going to show you because some of these people who are, and let me open up. I'm going to show you some stuff from Web Sleuths, and then we're going to open up, this pit. I'm just kidding. We're going to open up some videos. Okay, so here we go. So she was last seen July 15th at 2:30 a.m. in the area of East Montview and Peoria Street in Northwest Aurora. Okay. And this is another image of her. If you guys want to see another one of her with her hair up. Now, see how it says she's been missing since the 15th, but per the above article, it looks like Ellie just started looking for her on the 22nd. This was posted July 23rd, 2016. So this is a week after she goes missing, right? So they're like, I wonder what accounts for the long delay. Answer, Chief was on vacation. There's a different photo of Lashaya on this link. We've already seen that one, though. Let's keep going down because I want to show you. Right here, it says Aurora Police Chief Nick Metz said the search crews have been scouring the area where Lashaya was last seen for a few days. He says his department is treating the case as top priority. We've received information that caused us great concern for her safety. He said they're examining the video of her, which we're going to watch in a second. I want to keep going because right over... we're going to keep going. Where is it? Okay, so right here, it's been about 6 months. Okay, and then people are getting pissed. They're like, why am I just now hearing about this? Because like Laura says, she was the wrong race for the cops to take seriously. Yep, seems to be a problem. A lot of missing girls tend to not get top priority, in a racist world. And it's very, very sad. Here it is. If she's alive and in St. Louis, she needs to call her mama. Okay. So people were saying that she was in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, remember, we read that in that article, and I was telling you that because it's repeated all over the news. All right. So at the time, there were spottings in Kansas City and in St. Louis. And as we go through, I'm trying to find. All right. Sorry about this. Let me see. There's one of these. Okay, right here. This one gives some information on her that she was 150 pounds at the time of her disappearance. They do believe that she might be a little thinner now, according to an article in 2022, which tells me that there had been sightings, right? She's wearing a black V-neck shirt, stonewashed jeans, and the silver hoop earrings, silver watch on her left arm. And then she's got that scar, that circular scar, hair usually worn in a bun. All right. So as we scroll through and we get through Web Sleuths, eventually, hopefully we'll see. Oh, there's a good one. There's a nice clear picture of the age progression. Eventually you see, at this point, we're starting to see people that are like, okay, now we're learning more about her. It seems that the police chief was on vacation. The family, it seems, is being extorted. Here's the last known sighting of her. Now, here's a still from that CCTV footage. Oh, she didn't have a jacket. She was, well, maybe. I can't tell if it's a jacket with different colored sleeves or if that is a short sleeve shirt. They did say she was wearing the V-neck black shirt. Okay, so this is the house that they searched in 2020. So 4 years later, they searched this house. This house is somewhat adjacent to her family's house, just a couple blocks away. And the family says that that the people who lived in this house actually did know the family, I believe, or knew Lashaya. And that they had to wait until this family in this house moved out so that the people who moved in would allow them to go search it, indicating that whoever lived there before, at the time of Lashaya's disappearance, was not being very cooperative. So I went to this house on Google Maps because I was like, I wonder exactly where this house is and what it looks like and what it looked like back then. So let me show that to you. And I'm also going to show you the area where she went missing. Give me just 1 second. Let me pull this up. And right now, actually, while I pull up that map, let's do this. Let's close that out. And I'm going to put on this little playlist. We're just going to watch a couple of these, and I'm going to share a playlist under this video if you guys want to go through it and watch it in order. It's all the news coverage I could find on her. And there's a ton, but a lot of it is like the same stuff over and over. So I'm going to put on first. Okay, so we're going to see the surveillance footage. Okay, we're going to see one about the reward with the age progressed photo, and we're also going to see the one about probably about the home search of that house, and then I'll show you that house. Because this is this is an odd case because again, they did that bust that year, and you would think that they would have gotten her, in that. Nope, don't play yet. But they didn't. So, like, what the hell? Okay, here it comes. Here we go.
Surveillance footage caught her walking down the street. And 4 years later, we still have no idea where she was going or why she never returned home. Good evening, and thanks for watching Denver 7. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. And today, Aurora police and federal agents converged on a vacant house near Stine's and began searching for evidence. Now, investigators will not say exactly what led them there.
Denver 7 Sean Toll joins us tonight from the scene. And Sean, police have been looking at this home for some time now.
Yeah, and they've been looking at this home for a while, but they couldn't get into it. And they and police or FBI began searching this house early this morning and hoping to find something that can help them finally figure out what happened to Lashaya Stine.
Just a bunch of policemen. Just a bunch of policemen in that house.
People in this Aurora neighborhood weren't expecting to see police and FBI on their street.
I didn't know something happened last night. That's what I thought, something happened recently, but not 5 years ago.
4.5 years ago, Lashaya Stine went missing. She was 16 at the time.
I want to know what happened. This is a young lady that went to school with my niece.
Davita Wilson lives around the corner, and watching this search is tough for her.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm hopeful for because I don't know how I'm going to feel if they, if she is here and she's been here all this time and I'm right around the corner. And I don't know what this is going to do to my niece.
Police had this tip for a little while. Lashaya did know.
So before we get to that, let's just go back real quick. See how they have the dog sniffing and stuff? I'm going to show you something very weird in a minute. But this house, when I looked at it, on Google Maps, there's 2014, 16, 17, 18. Like you could see almost every year. And what's odd is before 2016, every angle I could find, there's a huge bush right in the center to the left of the front door of the yard. There's a huge bush. It almost covers the front of the house. And then literally right at, I think it's like September 2016. So it's like a month or 2 to 3 months, within 1 to 3 months after Lashaya goes missing, the bush is gone. And there's a brand new, like, just for no reason also, there's just like a giant, weird, almost circle that's just filled with rocks. And then there's a huge rock, a boulder, no pun intended. I know it's Colorado, but there's like a boulder just in the center of it for no reason. It serves no aesthetic purpose. It's kind of ugly. I don't know why they did that, but it's just strange because it's like, why would you take the bush out and put that there? There's not like something to sit on. There's not like a fountain. It's just rocks, just a little circular patch of rocks with a giant stone on top. So that's very weird. Hello, okie dokie. Nice to see you. So we're going to look at that because I don't know. Part of me is like, if this house had anything to do with it, why? Maybe look at that, and it seems that they were. But look at how thorough they're being.
Here, and she's been here all this time. And I'm right around the corner. And I don't know what this is going to do to my niece.
Police had this tip for a little while.
Lashaya did know some of the residents that used to live here. So that family moved out and another family moved in. So we had to wait until that second family moved out before we were able to come in here and do some of the searches that we needed to do.
And the people that lived there 4 years ago?
They were real quiet. I would talk to him a little bit every now and then, say hi. He seemed to be just a quiet person. He worked on that house constantly. He was always working on the house, inside, outside.
A very extensive search with everyone.
And what's interesting is there's a ton of permits to like remodel and do shit and put like solar panels on the roof. But the ones that I could find were like after 2020. So for someone who's constantly working on and remodeling the house, it's odd that there were no permits sought that I could find prior to that.
Involved, just hoping to find answers as to what happened to Lashaya.
We need this not only for us, but for Lashaya's family. They deserve some sort of knowledge, closure.
Now, Lashaya Stine's family did release a statement this afternoon saying, "Our family remains hopeful that we will find Lashaya and bring her home. The Aurora Police Department has worked on this case since the day she went missing, and we thank them for following every lead. We believe that someone in the community has information about where she is. Please, if you know anything, come forward." Now, investigators have tonight, later this afternoon, we did see them bringing in tools like shovels and even a crowbar in there to do some work. They will be back here along with K9 teams at 9 a.m. Reporting live, Sean Toll, Denver 7.
Okay.
Sabrina
So-
Jones sits on her front lawn.
Now we're going to see her mother, and her mom's going to talk about the disappearance, the reward for anybody who has any tips. And yes, I agree, and I'm very interested to see what Galen thinks about all of this. Also, hello, Okie dokie. Hello, nice to see you. All right, so this is a case of Lashaya Stine. Let's see what her mom has to say.
As long as God gives me breath, I will be
Waiting for her daughter.
We've always had this thing about looking all directions. I always told everybody, I want to see her coming. And I said, I bet she's going to come from that way.
To finally come home.
At this point, I don't care which way she comes. Just kidding. I mean, just fall from the sky. I'll catch you.
It's been more than 3 years since Lashaya Stine went missing.
The reality comes back to you that it's been that long.
She was 16 when she was last seen near Peoria and Montview Boulevard. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children releasing
Okay.
this picture of what she may look like now.
Let's go
at
back
19.
real quick.
And that was the
See that footage again. So that is the footage of her walking. It looks like she might have been wearing shorts right there.
When she was last seen near Peoria and
Maybe
Montview
pants.
Boulevard. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children releasing this picture of what she may look like now at 19.
And that was the hardest part, just knowing that I haven't seen her or heard her in 3 years, and I have to see
So this
her
was 2019.
grow up on a piece of paper.
Jones believes her daughter is a victim of human trafficking.
The thing is, it's just not talked about enough.
She's hoping this new photo will bring in new tips.
To have a new photo to go by, because I know she is older, maybe somebody would recognize her.
But until then, she'll be right here, waiting.
Just want her to know that I love her so much. And there's not a day by that I don't think of her from sun up to sundown.
Oh, that poor mom. Okay. So this is the home that we are going to look at on Google Maps in a minute. This is what I was talking about. I don't know if you could see it. See that big rock right there and all these rocks? Now, do you see the bush next to it? There used to be an exact replica, like another one of these bushes right there. And then in 2016, in September, all of a sudden, it's gone. And there's this flat thing of rocks, like a rock bed, and then that big one on top. And it definitely trips me out because I'm like, why? Why? Okay, let's see.
We can only imagine how difficult these 72 hours have been for the family of Lashaya Stine.
Aurora police, FBI agents, even firefighters have been out at this house at different points, and they will not say what, if anything, they have found.
Denver 7's Liz Gilardi picks up the story for us in Aurora tonight. A lot of activity out there today, Liz.
Well, there was an investigators just wrapped up a short time ago. They tell us now they will focus on processing the evidence, but it was a busy day at the house. Police and the FBI going in and out. They used equipment, machinery to break up
And see, like, they broke up concrete. They did a lot of shit, right? And so this is the house. Let me show you real quick. We're gonna, well, you know what? Let me let her finish. I'm gonna let her finish and then we'll look at the house.
And they're hoping it will lead to new answers in a 4-year-old case. You can hear the sound coming from an Aurora home where the search for Lashaya Stine continues.
But
just hearing what's going on. It sounds like they're digging.
Police confirmed they called in the Aurora Fire Department to operate equipment used to break up concrete.
So that stuff was used for concrete. So there's some areas maybe in the basement that we were trying to focus on today.
Investigative leads and tips led
So
them to this
areas
address.
in the
This is
basement
now the third day we've
stresses
noticed
me
police
out.
here.
Okay. Areas in the basement. Now, do you see that? That's the thing I was talking about. That big rock right there really bothers me. And the thing is, I was looking at different footage of the search, and they search everywhere, all around, but I don't think they moved that rock or looked under it, and it's pissing me off. I would love to know if they did.
The third day we've noticed police here, and the FBI is assisting with the investigation.
And there had to be a reason to dig in the basement.
Stine was last seen in 2016. Police released this surveillance video the year she went missing. It shows the 16-year-old walking just blocks away from this home at 2:30 in the morning.
I just think it's really bad for the girl.
Her family said in a statement earlier this week they remain hopeful she will be found and brought home. That's what neighbors are hoping too.
And praying for her family that they find some answers soon.
So that's the thing, is there was a huge this big tree right here, Laura. There was another one right there, like completely blocking all of this. And I'll show it to you. You'll see what I'm talking about. But right here leads down to the basement where that, look, I wish you could see my, hold on.
It's been too long.
There we go. So this is the big rock they put there. And then right there, that leads down into the basement. And there used to be a huge tree here. So I'm wondering if they put her behind the tree, did some digging nobody saw because there was a massive tree. Or did they do something with the body? I don't want to speculate, like burning or anything, but did they do something with it and then put it under there? Or mix it with rock or concrete? It's weird. It's very weird. And there was a lot of renovating done on it with a ton of permits, but they were all after that family moved out. But then you heard the neighbor saying he was always working on the house. Well, if you're working on the house, you need permits. In Colorado, I mean, they had to get permits just to put solar panels up on it, which you don't see here, but they put them up eventually. It's very strange.
And I think our whole neighborhood, the community would like some answers.
Absolutely. Everyone would like some answers. And we did ask police if they believe Stine could be in the basement or what exactly they were looking for. They would only tell us at this point they're conducting a thorough search. And they said from this point on, it will be very slow, methodical. They actually have to use screens and other equipment.
The fact that they were there with all that equipment for that long definitely means that they got a tip that they believe there's something credible about it. So now let's look at the house now. This is what it looks like now. There's a huge fence. It looks very different. Interestingly, though, as of 2023, what this says, so it's actually, can you guys still hear me? I hope so. So interestingly, you can see the rock is still there with all that stuff. And see, there's the basement down there. There was a doorway going down that way. I wonder if they like cleared it up. It looks like they got rid of the other tree there too. Major improvements to the yard. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look back. And actually, if we switch positions a little bit, we get more dates. No, I don't want to see the latest. I want to see all. Show me all the dates. See more dates. Okay. So let's just look here. All right. So this is 2011. See that big ass bush? That's what I'm talking about. See how it covers so much stuff? I'm over here like Gray Hughes. Look at my maps. But also, I wish it wouldn't take so long to clear up. Okay, so this big ass bush. All right, mahjong to you, Tiff. There's a big ass bush there, and then there's that bush, which was actually a baby bush. Okay, and this was in 2011. So let's go a little bit more this way. So do you see how much it conceals? And then that one right there, also 2011. It conceals like, and I wish it wouldn't be so pixelated. It just takes a while because StreamYard is so great. And I don't know what these hippies are doing. Why are they standing in the road? See how big that bush is? You see that right there? That's a big ass bush. It's 2011. So that thing it literally blocks all the way to like the basement window and all that. It blocks everything. Now, let's go to 2019. Okay. What is this? Bush gone. That bush can stay. This bush gone. Okay. And you can kind of see how it goes down into the basement right there. It's very difficult to see from this angle. Look at how there's just rocks and then that weird boulder. Like, why? And if I can get over here, there were more dates available. Let me go here and then switch back. Okay, here we go. September 2016. So this is July, August, September. Okay, so this is 2 months after she goes missing. Freshly built. Brand spanking new. And there was, I want to say, a picture or a video from the month before she went missing that I saw of this house. I think it might have been on real estate websites where this was bush. So it's just weird that they're looking at this house now, and 2 months after she goes missing, tear the bush down, put a giant rock, and do all this. And you can even see, let me see if I can pull it up over here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 2016. You can even see, oh, no, go big. Okay, well, fuck. So you can even see 2016 right here from this angle. Oh, goodness. Look at that. So there's like this little, like, I don't know, a succulent, and then this weird kind of, I guess, fresh concrete, and then these rocks and this boulder. It's sculptural. Okay. Okay. Does this rock make my landscaping look small? It's just strange. It's like out of nowhere this pops up. And look right here. See the pile of the concrete that's left over? Right, Laura? It would be really hard to move. And so they've piled a bunch of this wet concrete stuff right here. Like, this is a fresh project. Like, they still have the shit that they used to fill in there. They still have it out on the street. Like, they just did this 2 months after. Like, that's kind of crazy, right? And it's weird because when you're watching all the footage of them going through everything, the whole FBI and whatnot, you don't really see that rock move. And the different news stations were on it. Like, they were watching their ass. And see how there's that cage thing right there? So you can lift that up, and then there's like stairs type of thing, and then you can go in there. Look at this. So let's go to September 2016. See what I mean? What the hell, dude? What's going on here? And I'm even going to pop up over here. And let's see if, okay. You see it from the front? I mean, I guess. But it's just strange. Trees and bushes make a home more valuable here. It's very dry and hard to grow them. The bush needed to be trimmed, but normally they aren't removed unless they are diseased or dying, right? And the timing is sketchy. And that was a big-ass bush. And it provided shade. It's just... Yeah, but they were looking in the basement too. That's the thing, is they were all around the edges of the house, and then they were in the basement, but I never saw them move that rock. And I'm like, what's this fucking rock doing here? It's ugly. I don't like it. You can't just sit on it. Like, what are you doing out here? What's that bucket? I'm sorry. I'm just very sus. But yeah, it's... So that's the house. That's the house. And see how it says Montview? Montview is the street that she was last seen on. It was Montview in Peoria. So she was very close to here. Bush Roots is very funny. And also, I mean, not with like a shovel, but when we used to do dig tests for this fence company I briefly worked for, we did have to dig, but we had this thing where you just jam it in the ground and then you squeeze it and then it pulls the dirt out. Yes, I found the names of these people. I'm not going to share them publicly, but it's odd. Like it seemed like an elderly couple, possibly, and maybe someone younger. I haven't verified if they had a cousin or a son living with them at the time. It was very strange. And there's a lot of rumors out there, but they name like 3 different people. So yeah, there's that. Now, let me stop sharing that with you. And let me show you something else that I found real quick. And then I'll play 1 or 2 more videos, then I gotta go. Yeah, no, this was people who were occupying the residence, not specifically the owners, if that makes sense. You think it's totally sus? The Bush Roots. Agreed. Okay, so please hold 1 second. I'm going to put on a quick hold video. And then I'm going to show you something else that's I just think is very odd, that I'm curious what you think. It did kind of trip me out. Like and I hesitate. I'm even posted in response this on Reddit to someone, just curious, like, do you think this is something that usually I kind of know when a tip should go in or not, but this made me, I'm not sure. I'd like more feedback. But I think that for now, before we conclude, we do need to have a moment of Big Boy on the Roof. Here we go.
Get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't been on the roof. Never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't lay on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy drill on the roof. Never seen a big boy drill on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy drill on the roof. Big boy drilling on the roof. Big boy drilling on the roof. Big boy ain't drilling on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't climbing on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. How you do it like that? Damn, you got tubes on your back. Climbing on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Shit, big boy get loose. Shit, big boy get loose. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never shit, and you going on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy hump the roof. How you do it like that? Shit, you just make a back. Shit, pick up your back. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Get on the roof. Get on the roof. Get your ass out the roof. Get your ass back out the roof. I ain't never see a big boy leap on the roof. Get a big ass out.
Okay. Are we frozen? What's going on? Okay. Are we frozen? No, we're not. Okay, good. So this is one of the last things I'm going to show you. I did post this in Reddit, by the way. There's a whole thread about her. So if you guys go to the Oblivious Benson subreddit, there is an entire Lashaya Stine post there, a thread. So 5 minutes after or 5 minutes before the cops arrived to this motel to get her, she's gone. She was said to have been rushed into a dark blue SUV from the motel 5 minutes before the police arrived. Multiple people reported that, and apparently witnesses. They said that she's known to wear a straight, supposedly some of the tips say she's forced to wear, if you will, a straight black wig, okay, that looks kind of real, and that she's being kept drugged. And this is the hotel that they believe she was at, and they're pretty sure of that. And it's called, let me look at it. It was called the 7-Star Motel Denver. Before I show you, well, I want to show you the motel, but also I'm going to show you something weird. Let's show you the motel first. And I'm going to show you that motel back then. In fact, specifically August of 2016. Now, what's weird is the reports of her being in this specific hotel, which is off of Verbena Street and Colfax. This was, in the reports I saw, a month after she had been missing. So remember, there was like a week or two delay with the cops. And then they start getting these tips in. Okay. And this would have been literally this exact, see, August 2016. This would have been right around when that happened. And this is the hotel and what it looks like. People standing outside, like on the show Cops. There's a lot of traffic. We've got a lot of traffic over here. A lot of loitering going on. It looks like we have a little lookout up here, staring right at the Google car. Okay. So this is August 2016. And just like on Bissonnette, we see a bunch of people walking down the street. Now, here's what I freaked out about. I zoomed in on this girl because this would have been right when she was there. And that's a straight wig or straight hair. But what's interesting is the way this person wears it. Remember, she keeps her hair kind of up into the side a little bit. And I saw some pictures of her. And she has the same exact build. And she's got a small, I don't know if it's a wristband like a Live Strong bracelet, but she had a small silver watch she wore on her left wrist. Okay. And this is exactly where she was spotted, but look at who's very nearby. Very nearby. A lot of people doing some lookout. And I'm wondering, could this be her? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because they blur the face. But this is the hotel. And again, this is what is considered one of many blades in the area. And this is what they did with Gone. This is what they did with, well, they tried to do it with Imani and with the girl from Mount Vernon. But they've done it with so many, and it's just so strange. And I do be looking for blue SUVs in this parking lot, and I've seen 2 on the maps going from different dates. And you've got like June 2017 right here. Okay. Still a lot of loitering going on. Whatever. Still same people having the same damn conversation a year later. And this is what it looks like over the years. I told you guys we'd take a look. Look at how much it looks different. They boarded up some of this stuff. Or no, they painted it yellow. And then night window. And now we're going to skip all the way to 2022. Is that fucking wheat? Now it's apparently wheat. And now there's seems a lot of people on the street right here. Still some sort of plants. They just let that grow. So that's what it looks like now. Apparently. Somehow they seem to have widened the street. I don't know. But notice that big ass fucking condo. Gentrification. That's what they're doing. So there you go. So, yep, they just stopped. They just completely stopped. So, those are some of the focus areas for Lashaya's case. Lashaya Stine. Let's go ahead and watch one more video. Yeah, a lot of people live in that building, like these hotels and stuff. They'll just be, some of them will rent it by the month. There's also a lot of news reports specifically on those hotels and people who live there, but like are strange because you could get an apartment for what you're paying to live in the shithole where they treat you so bad. And it's literally just a hotel. It's not like, I don't know, it's just very strange. So let's go ahead and I want to put on, this is what the Aurora police put out. It's like a 4-minute video. This is from the this is from the Aurora police YouTube channel. Okay. And yes, it is a very, very sad story, but they do think she could still be out there. And I don't think they would put that hope in the family's heart if they didn't truly think that. And like the FBI spoken on it and said that. So, you know, because there's a lot of you from the Colorado area, a lot of you, meaning more than one, who watch this channel, you know, maybe if you see her or if you happen to be in the neighborhood and see anything, say something, you know, or maybe you might just be interested in this case. I don't know. But we're going to watch Sergeant Cassidy Carlson talk to us about Lashaya's case. And again, we do have that thread on Reddit if you want to join in there. And there was a loose kangaroo in Waco, Texas this week. So that's kind of fun. Kangaroo on the loose. I'm going to try to find some non-copyright strike stories about that to show you. Also, thank you to everybody who donated for the Meals on Wheels stuff with my neighbor Raymond. I told him about it. He's very excited. And we're going to be getting together and making bags. Denture cream or the denture glue, towelettes, cleaning towels, stuff like that. We have the whole list. We're definitely going to do like the Werthers, the mints, the Sudoku, but mainly like socks, incontinence stuff, toothpaste, toothbrush, combs. We're going to do combs. And might do something special for ladies and men so that, you know, there's specific things for each when it comes to hygiene care that could be useful to both. So we're going to be making those. And I think I'm going to order like each one separate in bulk. And some of it we're just going to go to specific places like maybe Dollar Tree for like toothbrushes and stuff just because it's the same shit. But we are going to get like soft toothbrush. That's another thing is like, do we do soft or medium? So probably going to get a mix of both. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys very much. What other stuff do I have? Oh yeah. Gonna have new merch in the store probably tonight. Had some creative inspo last week. Made some stuff, forgot about it. Now I'm gonna put it up. Soft. Yeah, I'm thinking soft too, right? I agree, C. Smith. I think we're gonna do that. Oh, and nail clippers, but there's the grabbers. That was the other thing is water wipes. There's also some that are specifically for the elderly that and there's some the dry shampoo stuff. They did say that some people have like asthma, COPD, stuff like that. So accelerants or things like that, probably not for the best, especially some are on oxygen. So yeah, we're going to be parsing through that list and figuring out what can go and what can't, because again, he's doing it through the VA, so there's like different rules. Also did ask about an Amazon Dono thing. He said he would find out, but again, it's through the VA, so there's different rules. I'll figure out all of that and we'll talk about it next time. Yeah, no flames. Nothing that can nothing scented that can cause anybody to choke. People just don't generally like scents unless they pick them out. So there's that. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Woo! I love you. You're the best. I think tomorrow we'll do a Sillies episode, but thank you for being here tonight to learn about Lashaya. Sorry it's such a sad bummer of a case, but I do think there's hope in this one, I really do. Maybe I'm just being silly or naive or, whatever, but I do think there is one inherent thing that people forget, and maybe they don't forget it, but they don't want to think about it because in a way it can lead you to go, oh, well, that actually makes sense and give you hope. But at the same time, it's a sad thought also. So I don't even want to say bittersweet. It's just it's bad and good. Is that a lot of these traffickers, they don't want to lose their money, As long as a girl is alive and they're able to exploit her, they're going to do it as long as they can to get their money. And that is sad and tragic to think about. And of course, we don't want anyone to suffer. But because of that, it does also make me think that some of these women who are thought to be in sex trafficking or potentially, lured in or kidnapped in, whatever, it's hard to think about you don't want to think that they go through that kind of suffering. But at the same time, it does make you think, or make me think at least, that some of them could still be alive. And I don't know what's more tragic, that they've had to go through that or that they could still be alive and still want to come home. And maybe people gave up. And I always think about Ohio and that asshole Angel. Is that his name? The piece of shit that the 3 girls in Cleveland, Michelle, and anyway, the 3 girls that were tortured by that piece of shit, and how, one of them, the psychic, told the parents she was dead when she was alive. And the other one, the mom just thought she was dead. And it was horrible for them because they were like, it sucked to know, that we were alive this whole time and our parents thought we were dead. They kept repeating stuff about how they just didn't want to be given up on. And I think about if these girls are still out there, it's better than to presume they are than to presume they're not. Does that make sense? It's better for their sake if they are, And it just makes me really sad to think that they could be there and everyone's forgotten. And I know their families haven't. Their families never will. But the families spend all their time looking. They need help sometimes. That's why it's good to talk about these cases and share them, even if other people are like, "Oh, she's gone, she's dead." Fuck you. What if it was your family member? What if it was you? Let's hope not. But so I don't know. With her, it makes me worry that she could still be out there, and I worry because obviously she hasn't been treated right, I'm sure. But at the same time, if she is out there, maybe she would be able to spend the rest of her life at home. And again, look at JC Dugard. Look at cases like that. Look at the Cleveland case. Anyway, this is Sergeant Cassidy Carlson. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you all. You're all the best kids. Nobody's grounded tonight. Thank you for being here. Lashaya Stine, 16 years old, gone since 2016. Keep an eye out. Keep your eyes peeled. And I will be communicating on Reddit about this case with you guys. Okay?
Department Crimes Against Children Unit. We are approaching the 1-year anniversary of the disappearance of Lashaya Stine. With that, we have increased the reward to up to $6,000, leading to the whereabouts of Lashaya Stine. She was last seen July 15, 2016, in the area of Montview and Peoria. At the time that she disappeared, she had long black hair, and she was 5'6" and weighed 150 pounds. While we understand that her appearance may have changed, she does have a quarter-size scar that is on her chest. We have received several tips on this case, and each one of them has been investigated to its fullest. We are encouraging the public to continue with those tips if they think they know where Lashaya is or have any information on where she might be. When those tips come in, you can be assured that they are being investigated to the fullest.
My name is O'Shea Stine. I'm Lashaya's big brother. I can't believe it's been a whole year since she's been missing. It's kind of hard to believe. I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing. I love you so much. I just want you to come home where you belong with your family. We are gonna keep praying for you, Lashaya. I love you.
I'm Lashaya's second oldest brother. It's real hard on me to even try to go through my day because it's without you, and it's been a year, and it's crazy. I wake up every day just asking God why. I don't know what I did. I blame myself, but I love you so much. And I whole situation that you're in, just be strong and come home.
Baby girl, it's mommy. How many years that I would have to go a whole year without seeing your face, your smile, hearing your laugh. Whatever situation you're in, just know that we're waiting for you and we're looking for you, and we won't stop. We won't stop. I promise you that until we get you back home. I need you to be strong. I'm going to pray for you every second of the day. And if someone is holding you either physically or mentally, I command you in the name of Jesus, let my baby go. She has a family. I'm here and I'm waiting on you. And I'll always be here as long as God allows me to. You walk up, you run up. I don't care what it is. Just come home, baby girl. Be strong. Keep your head up much. I'm Lashaya's auntie. Lashaya's like my own. And her cousins miss her. They grew up together. She's like their sister. She's like my own daughter. And we miss her so much every day.
Hello, I'm Division Chief Vanessa Wilson of the Major Investigations Section. I think you would agree with me after watching the video of the Stine family that no family, no mother should have to go and endure what they've gone through this last year. I'm asking the Aurora community and anyone else that has information to please come together and help us bring Lashaya home. Any information, no matter how insignificant you think it might be, could lead us to finding her. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and anything you can do to help us, we appreciate.